This is Judge Joe Brown, and we're listening to We All Be News. News-free Dixie for the 21st century.
Welcome, family, to another wonderful entertainment edition of The Artivist Thinks. This is a special update, everybody, because I feel like the corporate news media is giving y'all a bunch of emotional junk food. And we at We All Be News is here to give the people facts with fiber. And this is what I want to talk about, because they're not talking about this angle at all. I believe that the one known as Dylann Roof, the suspect in the church massacre at Mother Emanuel in Charleston, South Carolina, wanted to be captured in Shelby, North Carolina. That's right, boys and girls, scholar and laymen. And here's the reason. His hero is Thomas Dixon Jr. Who is Thomas Dixon Jr.? Thomas Dixon Jr. was born April 3rd, 1864 in Shelby, North Carolina. Thomas Dixon Jr. wrote the novel, The Klansman, which is the foundation for one of the most infamous and innovative movies in the history of the world. That's right, boys and girls, scholar and laymen, The Birth of a Nation. When was The Birth of a Nation, the movie produced by director D.W. Griffith? When was it produced? 100 years ago it came out, in 1915. Thomas Dixon, born April 3rd, 1864 in Shelby, North Carolina. Dylann Roof, born April 3rd, 1994. Thomas Dixon Jr. and Dylann Roof have the same birthday, which is April 3rd. They share a birthday of April 3rd. Dylann born April 3rd, 1994. Dixon born April 3rd, 1864. Dylann from South Carolina. Thomas from North Carolina. That's where he was caught, boys and girls, Scott and ladies, man. Shelby, North Carolina. He wanted to be caught there. I think that his hero, if I'm not mistaken by what I'm seeing, is Thomas Dixon, the guy who wrote The Klansman, which is foundation for the birth of a nation. Thomas Dixon Jr. also went to school, Johns Hopkins University, with none other than Woodrow Wilson, who was once the president of Princeton, the governor of New Jersey, and the two-term president of the United States. He actually endorsed the birth of a nation when he saw it at the White House. He basically, to paraphrase him, said it was like writing history with lightning. And also, Thomas Dixon Jr. was a prominent minister around the turn of last century. He actually was the head minister at Dudley Street in Boston, and then became a leading minister in New York City. In addition to being friends with the Democratic President Woodrow Wilson, Mr. Thomas Dixon Jr. was also friends with the Republican president known as Theodore Roosevelt. So he was working both sides of the aisles, both sides of the party. Bloods and Crips, it doesn't make a difference. We all in the same game when it comes to these politics. He not only was great friends with Teddy Roosevelt, but he also helped him campaign when he ran for mayor of New York City. That's Teddy Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt, Mr. Rough Rider. And I believe he also helped him campaign when he ran for governor of New York as well. So this guy was deep and close to these characters, Teddy Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson. Theodore Roosevelt was a sympathizer with the Confederacy. He had two uncles that served in the Confederacy and had to leave the country to escape persecution and prosecution. So all these things I'm telling you, boys and girls, scholar, laymen, look it up. Dylann Roof was paying tribute to the birth of a nation. What also happened 100 years ago? You have the birth of the Fraternal Order of Police. Look at all the police shootings. Look at the one in North Charleston, the Walter Scott shooting, which people might believe was they were trying to start a race war, which is probably highly probable, because which a lot of people believe they were trying to start a race war, which could be probable based if you look at the fact that the Civil War was started in Charleston, South Carolina, April 12th, 1861. So I just told y'all, Dylann Roof. I just told y'all Dylann Roof was paying tribute to his hero Thomas Dixon Jr. You don't see that anywhere in the news cycle. But research Thomas Dixon Jr. Look up the Klansman and you'll see. And as a matter of fact, Thomas Dixon Jr., his uncle who was a Confederate leader and his father were both Klansmen in North Carolina. So, why they not showing you that tidbit in the news cycle? They keep on repeating the same stuff over and over again. Why they not telling you about why he went to Shelby, North Carolina? Because that is the birthplace of his hero, Thomas Dixon Jr. Now it's the rebirth of a nation. If you look at the stuff that they say he said, I'm here to kill some black people. I'm here to shoot some black people. They keep on changing up what he's saying. He said, I'm here to kill some black people, or I'm here to shoot some black people. But he did massacre some black people. And here's the thing. I think he's under some type of mind control. Look at his pictures. Does it not remind you of that blank stare or that interesting stare from the Colorado shooter, the Dark Knight shooter at the theater, or the autistic boy at Sandy Hook? Those shootings, same MO. So they're making this Charleston church massacre the Black Sandy Hook. So be careful what you digest from the media. Be careful, y'all. But what I'm showing y'all is that history don't lie. If you do your research, you are rewarded by your research. So what I'm telling y'all, look all this stuff up and start amplifying what I'm telling y'all throughout the internet. And please give us props for getting y'all this information, because the ancestors been weighing heavily on my mind. And also notice how they not mentioned Demar Vesey name in connection with that church. How this month, back in 1822, he supposed to lead an insurrection, and they were doing all that planning at that church, which burnt down, which the crackers burnt down. Let's be real. Which the white supremacists burnt down. See, they always attacking us at our strongest point in the system of white supremacy. This is a track record with white supremacists in destroying black churches, places of worship where black folks can be themselves, can elevate themselves, can liberate themselves. So now is the time for the black church to take it all back and take it back to our roots. So if you like what you heard today, please feel free to subscribe. Please feel free to please feel free to donate, spread the word, amplify the stuff I'm telling you all in this video. This is very powerful stuff. This guy was paying tribute to Thomas Dixon Jr., who wrote The Klansman, which led to the Birth of a Nation movie, or Birth of the Nation movie, okay? He might see himself as the reincarnation of Thomas Dixon Jr. Somebody definitely brainwashed this guy, or got a hold of him. He's been manipulated. He's a MK Ultra meat sock muppet. That's why I call him. Also, if you look at Dylann Roof appearance as well, like that cut he got reminds me of something from Dumb and Dumber. But he's been mind controlled. Now people are saying that Theodore Kaczynski, the infamous Unabomber, that he was under some type of MK Ultra program when he was a student at Harvard University, I believe, back in the 50s. And Sirhan, he can't recall the night that Bobby Kennedy was killed at the Ambassador Hotel in L.A. He got to go on a hypnosis, but now we know that the gun that he used was not the gun. So thank you, family. God bless. Keep on producing and pushing, and keep on thinking. Peace.